Hey, and welcome to Glue Wednesday. We've got less than 3 minutes to go for our live broadcast. If you're on the video, well, no, if you're on live, we got 3 minutes to go before our live broadcast. And if you're watching from video, I always come on. I try to come on before the video starts so that Facebook can do what it calls building the audience. If you've never done a Facebook Live, you always go on early. And what they do is that sends out the announcement to everybody that you're doing Facebook Live, because sometimes people get caught up and they say, oh my God, I meant to do that. And so that gives them the chance to do that, to get and get on over here. Get yourself on over here. All right. What Eddie Murphy said in Beverly Hills Cops, get your man behind in the pool. So yeah, welcome aboard. Come on in. Come on in. All right. And meanwhile, I'm also setting up. I like to give a little tech lessons as I go, because I always, profess myself as being tech functional, not literate. I can make the technology work, but I can't necessarily always explain it. And you know what? That's all we need. But so don't back down from technology. Step up. Technology is made to help us. We've got less than 1 minute before our message. Technology was meant to help us. Not to rule us, but to help us. And one thing I always say, that if nothing else, technology needs somebody to turn the switch on and turn the power on. So it can never get to where it's so independent of us that it's in charge. And that's the way I treat my technology all the time. So we've got less than a minute to go for our message today. But again, welcome to Glue Wednesday. Now, Glue Wednesday, if it's your first time, is the GLUE is God's love undoes everything, and it was created to commemorate or to establish the point that Wednesday is the glue. It's the middle of the week that keeps the week beginning and the week end together. So it's the glue of the week, rather than hump day, which is the cliche people use for it. Hey, what's up, Haas? First one on, man. Good to see you. All right. Yeah. Because hump day to me has the connotation of the need to get over, because I'm word sensitive, but I collect words, but I just do that for fun. There's nothing wrong with you continuing to call Wednesday hump day. But again, but I think that when you do, what I want you to do is recognize that it's so important to control your vocabulary rather than allowing your vocabulary to control you. See, that becomes part of the key to our daily living in terms of communication, and everything that we want and need is how we say, how we express ourselves, how we come across. Everything is in your word choice. So continue to be conscious of that. So even if you're just doing it for fun, which I somewhat do by saying Glue Wednesday instead of hump day, it just makes me say, okay, yeah, I'm in control. I'm not just going to say what everybody says, which, by the way, I think a lot of times is part of the challenge that we have. The challenge, and I'm being nice, but it's part of the problem that we have in communication, whether we're talking about diversity and inclusion with all that's going on in the world today. But it's been going on all along. It's just that I think it was Will Smith said, is that this stuff has been going on all along. We're now getting videotaped. And so some people are instantly just following the anger instead of settling down and thinking about what's going on. So that's what, in fact, what I'm going to do today is, who else is on here? We just got Haas, me and you, Haas, and two other people. Hey, what's up, Vic? All right. Vic is in the house. All right. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. All right. But my message today, what I decided to do was go back, and I got a message from 2017 that I'm going to use. And the reason I did that, so my message is smile. Recognize that you don't need to have a new message. You need to have a now message. And I decided to do that. In fact, I'm going to be doing that for the next few weeks, here and there, if not with every broadcast. But it's important that we don't continue to try to have a new message and we don't cement the last message. But here are 3 reasons that I decided to use this. One, you know what? Someone may not have heard this message before. My message about smile. Someone may not have heard that message before. And so now this is a chance for them to get that message and see what if it's something that they can use, because that's what messages are about. Messages are about how do they apply to my life, and is it something that I can use? What that does is helps us choose our messengers carefully, which I will always say to you, choose your messenger carefully and recognize that you are carefully being chosen as a messenger. So therefore, somebody may have never heard the message about smile, and this being their first time, it may be just the message that they needed today. And again, I gave this in 2017. Then there's another reason. Like I said, there's three reasons. My second reason is that we learn through repetition. So maybe you've heard the message before, but we learn through repetition. And see, and even though when you heard it for the first time, it was new to you. And so maybe you like that message, just like the person who's now hearing it for the first time. You like that message and you wanted to incorporate it into your daily routine, but it was new. It was new. And just like a song that you hear over and over again, you have to hear that new thing again and again before you can apply it to yourself. So maybe in 2017, when you heard this message, you might even say, I don't remember hearing that message. Or right now, you might say, oh, yeah, I do remember hearing that message once I deliver it. But the thing is, now you may be able to apply it, incorporate it into your life versus back then, 3 years ago, it didn't fit into where you were in your life. And that becomes the key. So it was new. So, you need to hear a song over and over again for you to really get it. And you need to hear a message over and over for you to really get it. So if you are a messenger, don't get tired of delivering your message. Pastors need to repeat their sermons. When you go to a concert, what do you want your favorite artist to do? You want them to sing the songs that you bought the CDs to, and the records. I was going to say records. I was going to go old school on us. But you don't want them to get up there and practice their new stuff. You bought that concert ticket because you wanted them to hear them sing, bam, your song, so that you can say, oh, that's my song. And then you can get up and sing with them. That's what it is. That's what it's about. So, repeat your message and recognize that. Another reason is because we learn through repetition. Another reason I want to repeat the message, you are a different person today than you were 3 years ago. So the message has a different application. So you are a different person today. And that takes me to my third reason for repeating it, and which is my most important reason to me. It's because, see, I need to know that I'm adhering to my own messages, as well as choosing my messengers carefully. So just as I'm saying to you, you choose your messengers carefully. You need to hear the message again. We learn through repetition. You're a different person than you were 3 years ago. I need to see if, it wasn't a new message to me 3 years ago. So I need to see if that message is still a part of who I am. Self-analysis, y'all, is so important. Just like I always say, if you remember hearing me say, here's something I'll repeat, and now I'll give you a new application for it. I always say, put yourself first. Put yourself first, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of the people you want to take care of. Now, here's another application or a reason to put yourself first. What I'm saying about what I'm adding to it this time is, see, when you put yourself first, check yourself. See, check yourself, because you're somebody's messenger. So are you really living what you're asking people to do? Are you practicing what you preach? Or are you preaching what you practice? See, I check myself. So there's another reason for putting yourself first. I want to make sure that I'm true to what I'm asking you to do, because when we speak, all speakers really speak on the same topic, and that is change. And that's 9.5 out of 10 speakers speak about change, because something in their talk is about you adopting a new form of something you can add to your life. So let's make that 11 out of 10 times. A speaker is asking you to change. So that's what you're doing when you give someone advice. Even when you ask for advice, you're also asking for change. Okay, so that's important to me. I want to make sure that my message, that I'm true to my message, because somebody, see, 3 years ago when I gave this message, maybe somebody didn't get it. But then the next day they needed that message, or the next week, or the next month, or now 3 years later, they need to hear it again so it can apply. Because I may never see you when my message hits for you. Likewise, you have to recognize sometimes your message, whoever receives your message can't thank you because they don't see you when that mess. They say, "Oh, now I get what he or she was saying." And they can't see you to thank you. But if you delivered a true, authentic message, now when they apply it to their life, they can thank you secretly. But you also won't be in trouble with God because see, if I deliver the wrong message, if I lie about, if I try to deliver my message just so I can kiss somebody's butt and be politically correct, and then somebody finally says, well, you know what, I'm gonna try this thing Sporty said, and then it doesn't work. Now God's got a problem with me because I didn't deliver the message. I didn't deliver the truth. So it's always important to me. Truth and honesty is just something that's really important to me. It's one of the values that I stick to. Okay. So our message today is smile, SMILE. Let me see who else I got on the board here that I can say hi to. Okay. We got hi. Hey, what's up, Michael? Oh, good to see you, man. All right. Bonnie Coleman, homegirl. What's happening? Roger Carroll, what's going on? I see everybody's getting in the house. Okay. So my message today is smile. And I'm going to give you 3 different affirmations on smile. Okay, the first one is SMILE. Share the moments in your life experiences. In your life's experience. Share, that's what's going to make you smile. But we need to be smiling today. Well, how do you smile? I'm giving you 3 ways to do it. Share the moments in your life experiences. So here's one of the moments that I want to share with you is something that I did called it was called Driving in the Storm, but I'm going to share a video that I made. I was on my way to South Carolina. I remember when I did this, and I actually, what happened? I actually posted this video on Facebook about me driving in a storm. So let's listen to the message that I delivered back then.
Driving into a storm. Of course, if I have an accident, I'm getting in trouble for having this last broadcast, but I just wanted to see what it's like. Something to really care about driving, coming out of a storm. So here we are going through one. Hopefully, it'll get us through before the face cuts on. Enjoy. This is how our life is sometimes. Going into a storm, lights flashing, people slowing down, being a little bit more careful, people around you thinking, and hopefully you're doing the same thing. But always remember that once you are in your storm, you will come out. So,
All right. And here's why I remember doing that post. Because I remember when I did it, I made points of how when we're driving in a storm, and I was driving, everybody there was so much more cooperation. See, when we're in a storm, we have to remember we're not in the storm by ourselves. Sometimes part of our challenge is, oh, I'm going through this. Everybody's going through something. So I was in this physical storm, and as I saw how everybody started to cooperate, that's what made me stop. And I didn't stop, but that's what made me pull out my camera and start to record myself driving through the storm. My speed it changed. People allowed you to merge differently because there was also construction on that road there, if you remember seeing it. People allowed you to merge. Everybody's flashes were on. People would wave when you allowed them to merge. You did what? And these are some things that you don't know about a storm. When you're in a storm, guess what? You don't know who's ahead of you because I saw the cars ahead of me. I don't know who's ahead of me in the storm. And guess what? I don't know who's behind me. And then I can see that there are people going the other way in the storm. So just some characteristics of storms. And that's what I'm saying. That was something that was a smile that I wanted to share with you. So, if you share those types of smiles, that's going to help somebody get along. So what was that smile was share moments in your life's experiences. So other things that you could do, you could share family reunions. I went to a family reunion last Saturday on Zoom with my Roger Carroll was with Pat's family, and then she also talked about I did a Juneteenth celebration with Roger Carroll's family a few weeks ago as well on Zoom. So those are the types of things that want to make you smile. What's your legacy? What's your family reunions bring about legacy, different practices. Those are things that can make you smile. Talk about your legacy. Talk about your traditions in your family. One of the things my family does, we do what we call Leah lines. Leah lines are, we used to call my mother, her name was Mary Louise, but her nickname was Leah, Leah. And so she's been dead now. It's been 12 years. And so every now and then we will just do a Leah Lines day where we'll text. Everybody takes a turn in no particular order, but you'll just text something that she used to say. And then and a group text. And then we crack up, yeah, that was her. And so we just call them Leah Lines. And it helps everybody smile. So what are some things that you can share, some moments that you can share in your life experiences that can help you smile? Then the next smile is SMILE, something mellow, invoking love everywhere. You can smile when you just think about something mellow that invokes love everywhere. And I lost myself. Okay. Okay. And love is LOV. Let ourselves value everyone. See, that's what's mellow. It's just recognizing that everybody, post about your family, post about your friends, post about the similarities instead of the differences. See, those are things that invoke a love everywhere, and they just mellow. See, you don't always, put up all these posts about the negativity and the stuff. Yeah, all of that stuff is going on, but you can post about the positive. So what's going on with your family, your friends, and what are the similarities? Right now, as we talk about the challenges that we're having with the racial divide and the police divide and the government divide, all we're talking about are the differences. No, and I shouldn't say all because that's one of those absolute statements. But we're talking more about the differences than we are about the similarities. When in fact, the only thing that's going to bring us together are the similarities. And this is so cool. Speaking of similarities, do you have this? Look at that. No caller ID. Whoever's calling me, I love it that my phone says that. So therefore, guess what? I don't know anybody named No Caller ID, so I won't be answering that call. And then also the iPhone, it'll say possible spam. I don't answer that call. So those are things that invoke a mellow love of everyone. I still love the people who are making a call, but it's not calls that I have to answer. Meanwhile, here are two organizations that I'm involved with that they represent mellow and love everywhere. AATH is the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor, and we believe in the healing power of laughter. So there's a good place to get your smile going on. So you can go to aath.org. I give them a shout out. And also my pet charity, heyugly.org. And ugly is unique, gifted, lovable you. A friend of mine, Betty Hefner, founded the organization. I'm a co-founder, but she's really the one that's done all the work on it. And she built the movement. I never hesitate to give her credit for that. And, because I think that's something that sometimes that'll tear our smile away, trying to be, oh, well, because she built it based on my speech, how to be ugly. And which I created that, and I created showing how you turn a negative into a positive, and taking UGLY and turning it to unique, gifted, lovable you. It was a Toastmaster speech that I used. And see, there's a smile as I think about how that took me to the World Championship of Public Speaking in 1996. See, so those are the types of things. So please support either one, especially heyugly.org, because it's a website for self-esteem. Ooh, excuse me, for teens and young people, but it's a great resource for adults as well who are dealing with kids. Because we've now expanded it from just talking about self-esteem to suicide, as well as self-bullying. Oh, bullying, and there it is, bullying. So self-esteem, bullying, suicide, and then self-bullying is a part of bullying. So there's a lot of things that you can use. In fact, I remember, because of the organization, I learned a term called popularity bully. And I learned that that's what I was. I was a popularity bully in schools. And you know what? There are a lot of unconscious popularity bullies. They're the athletes, the ones who get voted most likely to succeed, the best singers. These in our schools, these are the popularity bullies. And it's not really a conscious thing where I say, oh, I want to be mean, but I was a class clown. Class clowns are popularity bullies, because I would joke about somebody and people expected me to tell a joke and we'd laugh at somebody else. And see, now that has become a part of bullying under the definition, because we made somebody else feel bad. So, take me back. Let me take you back to how important it is to self-check. So, self-check, see what you're doing. Think about what you're saying. Think about what you said to that person, especially someone that's close to you. It's not easy, but it's something that we can do. And so my last definition of smile is, okay, let me hide that. And let's go with, someone must inspire love every day. And I encourage you to be someone. Let someone be you. Someone must inspire love every day. And that's where it's a smile. Why don't you be someone? Why don't you be the person who inspires love every day? And we know love is LOV, let ourselves value everyone. But can't you be that person for somebody? Because you are somebody's messenger. You are somebody's messenger. Someone needs you to inspire them and make them feel loved and valued and important, just to make them want to pick themselves up off the carpet. And let me tell you this, one thing that I say to people is, sometimes when you get knocked down, people say, well, when you get knocked down, just get right back up. I say to you, sometimes when you get knocked down, stay down. Stay down there for a little while and catch your breath. Because if you jump back up too soon, that's where you can get knocked down again, because you're not really ready. Stay down and get yourself together. See, again, now you can see how word choice is so important. Sure, it's a cliche when you get knocked down, get right back up. Yeah, some people aren't necessarily telling you bounce right back up, but that's what we hope. But sometimes, look at the boxers. When they get knocked down, if they get up too soon, what does the referee try to do to see if they're really ready to get up? And they don't have their full capacity. And the ref is like, okay, your hands feel like they got some power. And that's why they feel the hands, to see if they have control. But they still are a little wobbly. And now they can get hit again. And now they might get the concussion. Whereas, stay down there for a couple of seconds, listen to the refs count, then get up. So take a 6 seconds down there, and then get up. Don't get up in 2, get up in 6, 7. And then get your gloves checked. And that's what we have to do in life sometimes. Once we get knocked down, we don't have to jump right back up. It's so important for us to be patient in our lives, because the patience is what? The patience is with ourselves. They say you show other people patience, but you have to give yourself patience. So be patient with yourself. And those are some 3 definitions of smile. And another thing that you can do when you think about that is, and be in terms of inspiring love every day, don't go to sleep having watched the news as the last thing on your mind. I said that 3 years ago, before this COVID thing hit. And so again, self-check. I'm so happy because it's something that I believe in. Don't go to bed with when the news is the last thing you watch, because negative news sells. And when you're sleeping, you're in a meditative state. So the last thing that went in is what ruminates overnight. That's where people say they had bad dreams. You got to watch your news? Fine. Watch something comical or something you enjoy after you watch your news. Oh, well, I watched the 10 o'clock news, then I'm tired, I'm sleepy. No, well, add something, add 30 minutes after that 10 o'clock news, after that 11 o'clock news, so that the last thing that goes into your psyche can be something that made you smile, so that you can smile before you take your last breath. And if you got to watch the news, recognize that it's got to have, you build it into your schedule, okay? And then don't wake up and jump into the drama of the day. Don't wake up and immediately start checking your text messages, checking the news again, checking your email. If you know what time you want to watch the news in the morning, wake up earlier and start your day off with an ingestion of positive, spiritual, or inspirational news, meditation, prayer, affirmations. What I do every morning, the first thing I do, I don't check my email, I don't check texts, I don't check my anything. My voicemail. The first thing I do is I want to check in with my spirit. So I have my cup of coffee, and I call it Coffee with Christ. I do my meditation. I read the Bible first thing in the morning, because I want to hear the word of God. That's how I start my day. What you choose to do is fine. Maybe you don't believe in the Bible. Well, is it the Quran? Is it the chants of Buddhism? What is it that you believe in? That's what you want to start your day off with, settling yourself before you get into dealing with this world and the chaos, so that you can have the armor that it takes, because you have to be able to fight the negativity. Negativity is coming. It's not going away. It's there. It's a part of your day. And so you have to make sure that you're ready to fight that negativity and push yourself through. All right. So that's what you want to do. And I call this, I call my coffee, I call it Coffee with Christ. Sometimes I don't want to drink coffee. Then I may have tea, and I call it Tea at the Tabernacle. Maybe I don't want coffee or tea, and I want to just drink water. I call it Water with the Word. See, I give myself a theme. Give yourself a theme in the mornings, so that you can move yourself through with joy and laughter and smiles that are going to impact everyone who you come across. Can't you? Don't they say that you should smile when you're on the phone? You can feel a smile through the phone as well. So thank you. Find ways to smile. Repeat your message, because your message is important and we need it. I'm going to be repeating a message tomorrow. If you haven't had a chance, I'm doing my webinar. Well, I'm calling it a webinar, but it's a Zoom meeting, Masters of Change, Embracing Successes Challenge. And so that's in my thread. You can see it. Pre-registration through the link is required. So please register if you haven't. I'm looking forward to the session. It's going to be interactive, engaging, and it's going to be fun. And I call it a 40 with Sporty, because one of the things that we're doing with my National Speakers Association membership is we're testing out. We believe that instead of giving people 1 hour, definitely not 3 hour workshops, but instead we're giving the 40-minute hour. So I'm going to be doing my best to keep it to 40, just like I'm doing with my Glue Wednesday broadcast, trying to keep them under 30, and we're doing good right now. Okay, so and see, it hasn't a quality message been delivered. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Western. Okay, so but pre-register so that I can send you the password, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow night on my webinar. And then also, if you like a copy of my book, Affirmations, which you see right here, where you find those definitions for smile as well as love. I call them affirmations because they're affirmations. The acronyms that I use, and they become affirmations that you can use. I don't just replace the letter with a word. I make sure that the word that I replace the letter with brings meaning to the word. So if you look back at the 3 definitions I gave you of smile, all of them are saying here's a reason to smile. A smile is someone who must inspire love every day. A smile is okay. A smile is something mellow, invoking love everywhere. A smile are moments, sharing moments in life's experiences. See, that's what I do with my affirmations. It's great to use for creating themes that you want for special events or a message that you want to deliver to someone. You can find it at my website, sportyking.com. Free autograph with every purchase. So please feel free to go there and support me doing that. Finally, this Friday speaking of smiles, this Friday is my 10-year anniversary in Charlotte. I actually became a resident of Charlotte, North Carolina on June 1st, 2010. But what I did was I signed my lease and I drove down and signed my lease, moved my furniture into my apartment, and then left and went and lived the month of June in Chicago, closing out my contracts and my life there. And then I drove down July 6th to finally move and settle in. And so this week I've been on all of those memorable days, because I had a memorable trip coming down here. And I sent a thank you to Marvin, my boy Marv, because I started driving down on the 6th, and my engine blew in Corbin, Kentucky. And so I was stranded in Corbin, Kentucky, but Corbin is about 70 miles away from Knoxville, Tennessee, where Marvin grew up, my high school roommate and good buddy. And so I called him to see if his family could possibly come and help me out. And then bam, Marv called me back that night. And guess what? He lives in New Jersey. He was calling from Knoxville, Tennessee. He was home on his way somewhere. So I called him to thank him and say happy 10-year anniversary that he came to my rescue. And then today is my anniversary. So I sent him a text. Today I sent a text to a good friend of mine, Sheila Funderburg. Sheila used to work at the Charlotte Urban League. And on this day, July 8th, 2010, she called me to say that they had a grant for doing a life skills class. Would I be interested in teaching it? And I remember her, and I sent this to her in the text. She said, well, Sporty, it's not as much money as you're used to making, but it's what we got. And I said to her, Sheila, I haven't made a dime in Charlotte yet. I will be there Monday to start. Okay. And we cracked up laughing. We had a great relationship ever since then, and we're still good buddies. Another reason to smile. So this is my anniversary week for my trip to Charlotte. So the 10th is when I actually landed in Charlotte. And so Friday, my message will be happy anniversary, CYA. Okay, happy anniversary, CYA. And of course, CYA stands for what? Choose your attitude. Choose your attitude, because you have to have what they call in alliteration an attitude of gratitude. That's not my saying, and I just can't remember who to quote on it. It might be my good friend and mentor, Willie Jolly. Okay, but have an attitude of gratitude, but it's important. So I'm going to be talking about choosing your attitude and why that's important as I celebrate my anniversary, my 10-year anniversary in Charlotte. So I could have called this dropping a dime, right? I'm going to come up with some different ways to talk about my anniversary, but that's all. Those are, again, all different types of things that you could be doing to keep your smile going. And as you keep your smile going, you keep someone else's smile going as well. So take care of yourself, because once you do that, you will take care of the people that you love. Thank you for joining Glue Wednesday. I'll see you on Glue Friday. Just remember, Glue, Glue, God's love undoes everything. Thank all of you for joining. I'm going to close out here, and then I'm going to come and answer some of your shout outs in the post. All right. So over and out. Stay safe. Ciao.